2 weeks left in 2023. You are probably finalizing your New Year's Eve plans. Why not ring it in with First Alert 4? And if you do, you will spend it with Elle King and Entertainment Tonight's Rachel Smith. The two return to host New Year's Eve Live, Nashville's Big Bash. And I am so excited to have singer and songwriter Elle King joining us for a look at the star-studded special. Elle, it's so good to see you.
So nice to see you. Yes, lady's going to be repping the rock and roll in the country.
And you have great fashion, so I can't wait to see what you choose to wear that night. Before we get into New Year's Eve, let's talk a little bit about you. I love your music. Your latest album was a country album, but still a combination of blues, soul, rock and roll. How has your style as an artist evolved over the years?
Honestly, I feel like, the more I get to know myself, the more that comes through in my creativity and in my songwriting. And I mean, I've been met with a lot of no's in my life, and it's taken me a really long time to be able to say, actually, my idea is cool. And so now it takes a little bit less convincing, and I feel like I've proven my point enough that, like, I am a country artist. I got signed because of a country song, and I didn't realize that country music would actually become one of my most creative and like freeing cathartic outlets. And so if people have connected with my record, then I feel honored, I feel blessed, and there's a lot more music in the works. And I know that I'll always make all kinds of music because I'm forever inspired by everything. But Nashville is my home, and this is my community, and I feel honored that they asked me back to host again.
And one of your biggest hits is a song called Lucky that you wrote after your son. As a fellow boy mom, I want to know, how has being a mom impacted your music?
It's changed it a lot. I mean, becoming a mother changes your perspective. It changes your empathy. It changes the way that you think about things. And so, I want to make music that can represent myself. At some point, I always make the joke, like, at what point do I sit my son down and be like, I was in my 20s once, sir, and you're going to be in your 20s. But I want to make music that my son is proud of me. But the cool thing about Lucky is that the day that I wrote that, I went back to the hotel. He was really little, and he knew that song was about him. And then he came to the studio when I recorded it, and he put his hands up on the big speakers, and he knew that was his song. So whenever he's at a live show, he always comes out for that song, and he knows it's his. He really doesn't care about me anymore. He cries because he wants to play drums, so he's 100% a drummer. But yeah.
Well, this New Year's Eve, you'll be live from Music City for the huge CBS special. So what can people expect from the big show?
We're doing a few things differently this year. Some are pre-tapes because there's only so much music that you can fit live in 5 hours. And so there's so many different acts, more than I can even name. But, Thomas Rhett, Lainey Wilson, Old Dominion, Elle King, and, just a little band called Leonard Skinner. So, like, I'm psyched. But yeah, it's really, really cool. And Rachel Smith, my co-host, she's been like such a guiding light and a guiding force. And, people are like, no one's that nice. She's that nice. She's so unbelievably talented. And I get a little nervous, and she's just like, be yourself. That's why you have this job. And so I love anything I get to do with her. And I never get to see my friends. We're always touring, so it's so cool to get to introduce them. And I'm not faking it. When you see me on TV and I'm like that excited, like, that's me. That's who I am as a person. I love live music, and I love to get to be a part of it in whatever capacity that is. So this is really cool. All I know is that I can't give away all the surprises, but it's going to be bigger and better than last year.
Well, your authenticity sure just came out in this interview. You are so talented. The Elle King and friends at home, you can watch New Year's Eve live from Nashville. The Big Bash on December 31st, starting at 6:30 right here on First Alert 4. You can also stream it on demand on Paramount Plus.